Hello, this is Paul Bo Brookins, and welcome to How to Play Dwarf Fortress Part 3, in which we start to play the game. Maybe? I doubt that we're actually going to be able to get to the actual gameplay in this video, actually. We're going to be setting up and getting into the gameplay, though. A thing or two I failed to mention in the last video was the way that I was moving around. You want to use the arrow keys to move around the world, the region actually. Each time you hit an arrow key, it'll switch you up and down or left and right in the world in order to find. That's what I was doing when I was looking around the world. But if you want to move around within the local area, you want to use the strange arrow keys that Dwarf Fortress has assigned UMHK. So if you look at my local area, I better select the game. If I go U and M, I'm toggling between going up one space and down one space, and H and K will switch me going left and right. If you want to resize the area that you're going to start off the game in, you would want to do capital U, capital. It's basically just hold shift and do the same thing. U will increase the size vertically, M will decrease the size vertically, H and K, same thing. You see my zone moving around the highlighted area. So that can make your world bigger or smaller. Sometimes you'll want to start on a smaller area if you're afraid of frame rate issues. So that's how you do that. But let's go ahead and embark in this area, and it will bring up a warning. If there's something wrong with the area, it will actually give you a more specific warning other than this is a warning. Like it'll say this area has salt water, it's going to be hard because the dwarves can't drink the water. It won't say all that, but it'll basically give you a more specific problem. But if there's nothing wrong with the area, you can go ahead and hit enter, and there's some different preset items and dwarf settings that you can use. Some are from the Lazy New Pack made one, Mayday, I don't know who that is, Dwarf Fortress video tutorial, Captain Duck, which you might want to check out his videos also. They're really cool, and they do a similar thing to what I'm trying to do. And I made one myself. You can make your own custom one, but in order to just tell you more about what to do, we're going to go ahead and prepare for the journey carefully. So I hit prepare for the journey carefully, and you can make your own settings from scratch. So this is the screen that pops up whenever you're preparing for the journey, and this stuff on the left is actually a list of all your dwarfs and their professions. They're all peasants because they're not good at anything whenever you prepare for the journey carefully. If you hit the left or right arrow, it'll switch you over to the skills screen. If you hit up and down on this row, it will switch dwarfs. If you hit up and down on this row, it will switch the professions that you're selecting. And if you hit plus and minus when you're on a profession, it will increase or decrease the skill that they have in that profession or job. You have to hold shift to press the plus on the normal part of the keyboard if you're not using the Lazy New Pack custom key bindings, but you can just press the button that has a plus on it, which would normally type an equal sign if you're using the right key bindings, and it's a lot easier. So that's one of the things that, since I mentioned earlier, you should use those key bindings. It makes it easier to switch back and forth. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is make 2 of the dwarfs miners, at least. It's good to have miners. That's the only way to make room for your dwarfs underground. They don't really like living above ground. You can make an entire fort above ground and build walls and rooms and all that good stuff, but they don't like it. They just doesn't make them happy. So you want miners to mine underground and make rooms and all this crazy catacombs and cool stuff under the ground. 2 is probably the minimum that you'll want. And pretty much in the entire time that they're going to be in this fort, they're going to be doing nothing but mining. So next thing you're going to need is somebody who does stuff with wood. So a guy who likes wood is important. Need them to chop it. And failed to mention, but these skills can go between 5 and 10. 5 means they're not good at it and they don't know how to do it really. And 10 is just it says proficient, but there's a name for how skilled they are in this. They can get even better than this, but this is the maximum you can start out at. For these guys, I'm going to put them at 8 and 8 for carpenter, probably 9 carpenter. And I'm also going to make him a woodcrafter and a bowyer. Those are the other 2 things that you do with wood for the most part. So that guy's going to be doing nothing but hanging out with some wood for the first part of the game. The next guy, I want to make a stoner, somebody who's really interested in stone, a mason. So increase the masonry, and you're going to be doing a lot of masonry, so you don't really want them to be doing a whole lot of other stuff, but engraving is something related to masonry, and maybe a little bit of stone crafting. I do want somebody else to be doing stone crafting later, because I'll be wanting him to pump out stone furniture and whatnot, and I will want a stone crafter to be doing something else, such as making stone crafts or stone pots, which we'll get into all of that later. But just know that you'll want to have somebody who does stone stuff. The next person we'll want to have be a cook, somebody who does all the food stuff. So growing is actually farming. You can put at least a couple points into that. We'll have to have him do the brewing and the cooking. And brewing is very important in this game. You don't want to have the fortress not have any alcohol, because of course you don't want any food because they'll die of starvation, but they'll be super pissed at you if you don't have any booze. They'll drink water if they have to, but they hate it. And if your dwarfs are angry or just malcontent, you're not going to have a good time playing this game. And a couple other miscellaneous. We'll go ahead and make him a butcher and a tanner and a fish dissector. Just have him do those miscellaneous things that are important at the beginning of the game to have somebody actually doing it. So we'll go back to this screen, and the next person we're going to have be our leader. They're going to be, if you go down to the next page, there's a bunch of other things that you can have them be, but we're going to have them have a point in leadership, point in organization, record keeper, appraiser, and diagnostician, doctor. All of these things are important to have somebody who knows how to do them at the game, and sometimes you don't get any migrants that know how to do these things starting out in the game. So it's important to kind of have somebody who can do them. It's not essential, but that's the way I like to play. So have a leader. You can throw a couple points in masonry, so just so you can help out with that stuff too if you want. And then the last person I like to have be a jack of all trades. We're gonna have him do some of the jobs that are important, but you don't want somebody just doing that all the time. This person, I'm gonna go ahead and make him be an ambusher, which is a hunter basically. Be the highest skill level that he has. Ambusher. 3 points. Oh, I've run out of points. let me switch over to the items, and we'll go ahead and delete some of the items that we don't need. I don't need a wheelbarrow. I'll delete that real quick. How do I delete it? Oh yeah, that's right. Subtract. Subtract the item. You hit tab to switch between your items and your dwarfs. So we'll go ahead and subtract that for now so we can add some points into our last dwarf. And like I said, if you make Ambusher the highest point level, like the thing that he's best at, he's going to start off the game with a bow, with a crossbow. So those are pretty expensive. So if you can spare the points, make somebody a ambusher. And it's also good because they're a hunter and you get some food. Another thing that I'll go ahead and add a point in crossbowing since he's going to be doing that. But another thing that you're going to want to have at the beginning of the game is a architect. Where is it? It's building designer here. You need somebody who knows how to do that, and somebody who knows how to do gem cutting. You don't have to have that, but it's nice, and a mechanic. So in review, we have 2 miners, 1 wood guy, 1 stoner, 1 farmer, a leader, and a jack of all trades. So that's how you set up your dwarfs. Looks like we're out of time for this video, so in the next video we'll go over all the items that it's good to take with you, and we'll delete some of the default ones. So but in the meantime, comment on my video if you have anything to say, and like the video and subscribe if you would. And for now, my name's Paul Bo Brookins, and we'll see you next time.